Shakur Stevenson just might have announced to the world that he's the best lightweight 135-pounder in the world and one of the best fighters in the world with a masterful performance against William Zepeda on Saturday in a fight that, while I predicted Shakur would win a very wide decision, in which he did so in a manner that I was thoroughly impressed. The fact that Shakur sat in the pocket in this fight and fought it out with Zepeda. Of course, he moved to a degree, but nothing like his previous fights, nothing like the runner label he's been criticized with throughout his career. He sat there and gave the fans an entertaining fight. And that's exactly what we wanted to see from Shakur Stevenson in this fight. Is William Zepeda, while it was wide on the scorecards, especially in that first half of the fight, he put together a really good fight against Shakur. You got to give him props, but in the end, Shakur Stevenson showed why he is levels above a lot of fighters, and that includes William Zepeda in this fight. Shakur Stevenson, what a night, as he might have been the winner of the night. Him and Hamza Shiraz, of course, both the biggest winners of the night. But before we get into the Shakur fight, make sure you like this video, comment below who you want to see Shakur fight next, and hit the subscribe button for the Never Drop podcast. But Shakur Stevenson, what a performance. He wins this fight, unanimous decision. He wins it 10-2 on two of the judges' scorecards and 11-1 on another judge's scorecards. And if you remember my preview, I said I think Shakur Stevenson wins this fight by winning 10-plus rounds. I truly believe Shakur was going to find his way in this fight and just dominate Zepeda. I'll give Zepeda credit because I don't think that 11-1 decision is fair. Honestly, I think you could make the case for Zepeda winning 3 rounds in the fight, especially early on in the fight. He was having some positive progress on Shakur, and then he kind of burned out with the fact Shakur just kept making him miss. You look at the total punches landed by each of the fighters. Shakur landed more than Zepeda, 295 to 272. Zepeda, I said he was going to throw 1,000 punches. Well, he threw 21 less than 1,000, 979 punches, while Shakur threw 565. So that means Shakur landed about 52% of his punches, Zepeda only about 28% of his. Hey, that's what happens with Shakur. He is going to make you miss. You knew that was going to be the case. And for Zepeda, he was going to just have to keep pressuring and keep coming forward to fight against Shakur. As Zepeda was working the jab throughout the fight, he was working, getting in with the jab. You know, he landed some nice shots. He landed that really nice shot in the third round that kind of had Shakur a little wobbled. You know, Shakur said he was off balance. That's what caught him. Hey, at the end of the day, Shakur recovered from it. Didn't seem to bother him. Just was a moment that we haven't seen against Shakur Stevenson a lot. You know, now look for the Twitter trolls and the haters to comment that under every post is, you know, people have been critical just because of the fact saying Zepeda doesn't have that much power, which to a degree can be true. 27 knockouts for Zepeda, but against Tevin Farmer, you know, a guy that just got crushed by Kid Schofield, Floyd Schofield, of course, Kid Austin. Just the other week in the first round, Zepeda couldn't drop or really hurt Tevin Farmer too much in 22 rounds. So people are always going to find something to be critical of. That's what is going to happen. And of course, Shakur does not have the greatest power in the world, so it didn't seem like he hurt Zepeda thoroughly in this fight. There was times where he definitely, on the ropes, there was a time in particular I'm thinking of, I can't remember the round, he was pulling the Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll on the ropes, and then Zepeda was landing a shot or throwing a punch. Shakur rolls it, I believe, and then lands a counter left, and that backed up Zepeda and kind of, for a second, made his legs wobble. Zepeda was fine enough, but Shakur was really good in this fight, especially, you know, he said he didn't want to be on the ropes. I understand that because Zepeda did do some damage when Shakur was on the ropes, but I thought Shakur did a fine job of being on the ropes in this fight. I don't think it was anything too crazy. And then when you get the 6th round on, yeah, Shakur was just in complete control. He landed more power punches, 199 to 153 against Zepeda, as the countering just slowed him down. Shakur Stevenson did what a lot of people didn't think he could do, and that was stand in the pocket of a fight and just, hey, let's see who's the best man today. And Shakur, to his credit, you know, a lot of people were going at him, Turkey Al Sheikh included, about this Tom and Jerry business going on. And Shakur said, all right, you want to say this? Forget about it. I'm going to show you there's no Tom, there's no Jerry here. We're going to both be Toms. I'm going to whoop up on Zepeda. Again, he always pre-fight says, I'm stopping him, I'm stopping him, I'm stopping him. And that's been the case for a lot of Shakur fights. Don't buy into that. But Shakur did put a number on Zepeda in this fight. And you got to give him credit for that. As Shakur looked every bit of the talent that everybody has said over these few years. You know, it's always been hyped up as Shakur Stevenson is the guy, he's the guy, and then he's had these performances booed out of his hometown against, guy coming in off 2 days' notice. And it's like, okay, he might be the talent, but he's not showing us anything. Well, against William Zepeda, this is arguably his best performance of his career in this fight. You have to give Shakur Stevenson credit, as now you look at the lightweight saying, okay, where does he stand? Is he clearly at the top? Is it still him and Tank Davis? Of course, I'm still going to say it's him and Tank Davis at the top for 135. Those two fighters clearly are the two guys at 35. Tank Davis, who knows what's going on with him, as it's, whether or not the fight is going to happen against Lamont Roach, or that's going to get postponed or canceled even because of the legal issues. We don't know, but that's a fight we need to see. That's the level of Spence Crawford. It's getting to that point. It's these two guys, two of the best in the sport. We have to see them fight. And who knows if we will be able to. It'll be a shame if we aren't. But I think after this performance, that's the only competition right now for Shakur Stevenson. You look at a kid Austin. Yeah, he's got power, but too young, too inexperienced against Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur would make that fight a little boring. And something Shakur did mention in the post-fight press conferences, he doesn't want to fight that style. He did that style for that Saturday against that fight against Zepeda because of all the noise, all this, proving that he can do it. But he said he took too much punishment. And of course, not every fighter he fights is going to be a Zepeda style. Coming forward, relentless, just unwilling to stop punching, right? Just throwing 1,000 punches. Not every fighter is like that. A Gervonta Davis isn't like that at all, right? So it's going to be tactical against some of these guys, and maybe a kid Austin thinks he can get in there and throw with Shakur, but Shakur's an excellent counterpuncher. He can easily counter if you want to go in there wild. So if that's the case for a lot of these opponents, they're going to have to rethink what they want to do when they take on Shakur Stevenson, as he's proven he is probably the top guy at lightweight. Of course, I want to still say him and Gervonta Davis, but recency bias. Hey, Shakur Stevenson, dominant win. Gervonta Davis, draw. So you got to give the edge right now to Shakur Stevenson, as much as, even if you are a Tank fan, you got to understand, hey, that's one heck of a win against William Zepeda, and the way he did it. People had been saying Zepeda was one of those guys at 35 that could cause trouble. Shakur took care of him easy. Of course, people, always going to be critical, whether it be that moment where it looked like he got hit really nicely, or, he doesn't have power. Either way, if you win 10-2, 11-1 on scorecards, hey, you can kind of ignore the criticism because you deserve that win. So Shakur Stevenson does the job and does it in impressive fashion here. Exciting to see what's next for Shakur. He's done with Matchroom. We'll see if he re-ups with Eddie. He said he still has few fights with Turkey. I saw him talking to Cubis. I'm blanking on the first name from PBC. So of course, anyone from PBC that connects with Gervonta Tank Davis, he was talking to him with Turkey there. Turkey wants to make that Tank Davis fight. So we are going to see. I mean, the world wants to see Shakur versus Tank Davis. That easy. That's the case. Everyone wants to see that. So we will see if that fight ever gets made. But Shakur Stevenson puts on a masterful performance against William Zepeda, something I expected. And a lot of boxing people did expect it as well. But just seeing it for ourselves, got to give all the credit in the world to Shakur for that one. As we will see. Let me know in the comments below who you want to see Shakur Stevenson fight next. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the Never Drop podcast. Hey, that's all I got for you. Let me know who you want to see Shakur fight next. Everyone have a great day. Peace. I'm out.